Hey guys, welcome back to JazzedTutorials. So this week's video is going to be a little bit difficult. So as you'll notice in my layers palette over there, I have all the layers already made for you because if I were to do this step by step, this could take upwards of possibly half an hour, and I highly doubt y'all want to sit through half an hour of me blabbering about random stuff. So I figured I'd try to shorten the video a bit so you guys can see what's going on. So we're making a text effect. It's a very fiery, smoky, abstract text effect. I found this idea on Google, actually. I was Googling something, and this awesome, fiery text kind of effect thing came up in my search. I thought, hey, let's take that apart and try and recreate that into Photoshop, and I did so. So, alright, let's begin. And FYI, there's like 3 textures we're using, and there's a font we're using. I will provide all links below for you to download. So let's get started. So first of all, type your lovely text. Okay. Obviously I've chosen Jazzed, but by all means, type whatever you like. And then once you've typed your text, place it wherever you need to place it. And now we're going to add our first texture. We're going to be adding a floor texture. Now this is basically a stock photo I found on Google. Which you can use, and I'll provide them below for you. So go ahead and copy the whole entire image. New Control or Command AX, and then you're going to place it above your background. It'll be a layer 1, and you'll notice mine is feathered out. What I did is I grabbed my eraser brush and I erased just the park bench and all that good stuff, and I left the floor in there. And I dropped the opacity on this to 20%. You're not going to see this quite in your outcome, but it's there and it gives it a really nice subtle effect, which you'll notice when we add the other textures and stuff. So that's why this is here. Okay, so once you've done that, go ahead and grab a couple of adjustment layers. We're going to start off with a black and white adjustment layer. And I'm going to choose these settings here, and these will be per person, so you'll need to use my numbers here. So I'll zoom in a bit for you to see that. 23 for your reds, negative 200 for the yellows, negative 183 for the greens, cayennes is 79, negative 22 for the blues, and 69 for the magentas. Okay, once you have that, you'll see something kind of like this. Okay, we need to now add another adjustment layer above that, and this is going to be levels. And we're going to, and the only thing we're changing basically is the first one, which is going to be 1.10. Or 110, excuse me, 110. And then basically it's going to kind of get rid of the whole entire floor that you just put in there, but eventually when we get further into this, it will come back sort of kind of, not as bright and ominous as it just was, but it'll be there in spirit, I guess we can say. Alright, so now we have our text. Now we're going to add some textures to this text. We're going to make add a space texture. So you're going to grab this one here. This is the first texture we're using, and we're going to be using this texture again towards the end, so don't get rid of this texture, keep it in your open area. So just do a Control AX and Control AC. We're going to copy this because we don't want to get rid of it just yet. We need to use it again once more. So once you have that pasted onto your lovely layer, you're going to then, I'm going to make mine visible, and you're going to be a bit confused, but I'm going to walk you through this. So once you've pasted it, it's going to be covering the whole entire document. We want to only have it covering just the text. So to do so, you're going to then make the lovely text active by doing the Command or Control clicking on the thumbnail. That will then, as you can clearly see, make an active marquee around the whole entire text. Once you've done so, you can then go up to your lovely layer, and you can do a clipping. You can add a layer mask, and it will mask out the entire thing onto that text. Alright, once you've done that and you've masked it out and you get to this point, you're going to then double click on your lovely texture layer, and you're going to add a couple of settings. We're going to add a stroke layer, a 1 pixel stroke layer. It's going to be a pink color. I chose this hue here, but you can go with any hue that's within radius of that color. Alrighty, Roo. And then we're going to add an inner glow settings, and you want to choose the same exact pink color you just chose for your stroke. only because it's gonna work well with this. So then click OK once you have your pink color chosen. And this is going to be a blend mode of screen. Usually it's set at screen automatically, but if for some reason yours is not, you can set to screen. Okay, 11% for your opacity, and you're going to have a size of 21 pixels, px, 21px, and then click OK, and you'll get to where we are right now. You really can't see too much of what we just did, but it's there. If you zoom in quite far, you'll see it, but because I'm zoomed out, you can't really see it that well, but just trust me, it's there. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit kind of intricate and very involved in each letter. This is going to be a little bit tricky for you, but believe me, the outcome is amazing, so you will want to take your time with this and get everything to where you want it. Let me see if I can show you exactly. Okay. You'll notice how all of my text is kind of blurry-ish right now. What have I done, you want to know? I will explain to you briefly. So what I've done, I went to google.com, and now before I get anywhere near that, a lot of you are probably going to explain to me, there's an easy way out of this situation. And yes, I know there's another way to do this, but this is the easiest way I could do it, so I did it this way purposely. Okay, go to google.com, type in fire. You want to find a nice fiery effect and whatnot. I just chose a random one. You could choose anything you like. And then within your lovely fire stock, fire flame, I should say, it's a flame. You want to find a fiery, nice flame. Now, could you use a brush? Probably. I don't know. I didn't do it that way, so I don't know how that would work out. But if you want to give it a try, go for it. But for me, I think using a nice fiery, flamey stock photo worked really best. And what I did is I cut out parts of the flame, and let me zoom in for you so you can see what I did. I cut out parts of the fiery flame, and I pasted it all across each letter individually. So each fiery flame I did across each letter was done on an individual layer. And I did that because some of the flames were a bit too bright and some of them were a bit not so bright. And now you're probably going to be like, you didn't explain how to make it colorized. I'm getting there. Hold your thought. So once you have your flames all pasted, I then went ahead and made every layer merged into one. All of your flame layers are merged into one layer. Then I went up here to my lovely image and adjustments, and I adjusted the hue to match kind of sort of the color of our texture slash layer of text. The hue I chose was negative 63. Negative 63 works the best and showed the best outcome in my humble opinion. Now, you're probably thinking, well, couldn't I have done that beforehand? That way I have to go do it at the end? Yes, you could use the hue and saturation beforehand while doing each layer individually. You could do it that way, or you could do it at the end. Either way, as long as you get your hue and saturation set to where it is now, you're good to go. And as you go across each layer, depending on which letter you're using, you may have to warp it and create it and move it around to suit that particular letter. Just so you know. And then once you've warped and moved everything around, you're going to get an effect similar to what I have shown here. Alright, once you have something similar to that or to your liking, we can now move forward. Alright, let's keep going. Now, I then added another layer, and this is just a lighting layer. I wanted to add some colorish, some light to this to make it look really awesome. To make these little light dots that I made, I will show you what I did. I'll do it way on the top here so you can see it. I made a new layer, and with the new layer, I selected a very, very bright pink. It had to kind of match the of course, the color scheme we're going for, so I chose a really, really, really bright pink. I think I chose something of this matter. As long as it's a bright pink, don't matter. It'll blend in somehow. Alright, and then I chose a very large / small soft round brush. Depending on the size of your canvas, you want to go relatively large / medium size. Because my canvas is quite large, I believe I chose a 1400 by something canvas. I have to go with a 300 and something, a 200 and something pixel radius for my brush. Make a dot like such. Then go ahead and grab a white soft round brush. And your white soft round brush must be smaller than the original dot. We need to go smaller. Place your white dot right in the dead center. Don't make it too big, also not too small. Alright, once we have it to this setting here, we can then go ahead and do a Command T, and now we're going to warp it into a cool, like, lightsaber-ish, like, shape. I'm calling it a lightsaber, it's not even a lightsaber, it's just a light spot. So, warp it into a light spot like you see there. You may need to really warp this because I don't, and whatever, so here. And then I have to resize this because I made this too big to show you guys, but for you, you may have to resize as well. Just resize it to whatever fits, and then just rewarp that. Alright. And then grab this and then place it one upon each letter. And again, you may have to resize, I don't know, it's up to you, however big of canvas you have, or small, big or large, whatever. And then just place them, around to make it look awesome. Like this. So then you'll have something like that, those little light dots. Place one for, I would say one per letter would be good. If you want to go two, that's fine. I just thought that one would be a nice touch. And place them randomly. Don't just all place them in the same spot because that can look lame. Might look kind of lame. So one per letter is fine. All right, we're here. I hope you're with me still. I hope you're not confused yet. If you are confused in any way, shape, or form, as always, comment below. I will try and help you out to the best of my knowledge. Alright, let's continue. Now, we're going to go back and add some more of these lovely textures. So, go and open your second texture, and this is a Space 2 texture. We're now going to add this somewhere in here. Now, you'll notice how mine's blended in quite nicely. And that's because I, again, added a human adjustment saturation. So we're going to open this texture, and what you want to do is you don't want to open the whole, you don't want to copy the whole entire thing. So grab your lasso tool, and with a 30px pixel brush, you're going to want to select just this part over here. Alright, select that part right there, and do a Command X, and cut that out, and then you can delete that because we're good with that one. And then you're going to want to paste it 3 times. So, paste it once, 2, 3, and you want to place it somewhere over in this region, and then once over here, once down below, and then once right behind maybe your second letter. Alright, something like what you see here. And you may need to use a soft round brush to erase parts that kind of, look kind of ridiculous. I know I had to, but you may not, I don't know, up to you. And then once you've done so, go back to Image and Adjustments, and you're going to use Hue. Now this is going to be a little bit of a lesser pink color than before. So this one's going to be a -31, and I've already done so on my layer, so I won't need to, but you will. So go ahead and do that, -31, and you should see an outcome similar to what I have shown here. Maybe not exactly what I have, but close enough. Alright, let's add the second texture. So reopen your space texture, or go to your space texture, and you're going to now select with the lasso tool, still with 30 pixels selected, just this lovely part right here. And now you can do the Control AX, get rid of that, and you're going to paste that one twice. And then once you have that lovely texture pasted, you're going to paste it twice, once over here, and then once in the beginning. And with this one, you're going to do the same thing. Image and Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, -31 for your hue, click OK. And you should see something similar to what I have shown here. Alright, I hope you guys are still with me. Hope I haven't confused you too much. I really hope I haven't. Have I? I hope not. Alright, so we have this. Now, you could stop here, but I think it needs a lot more stuff, so we're going to continue. Alright? So, I'm now going to add another new layer. Oh, and just by the way, before I forget, make sure that when you paste your textures, they have to be obviously behind the text, so make sure all those 5 textures we just made, they're all below the text layer. Alright? But I'm sure you saw that and weren't like, oh, she didn't forget to tell us, she just thought we'd know. Which I did think you would just notice, but I'll tell you anyway. Alrighty, let's keep going on. Now, I added another layer, Now this is going to be a clouds layer. You could use a cloud brush for this layer if you want to. I didn't. I made my own clouds layer with the filter because I didn't want to go take the time to go into my lovely brushes thing and search for clouds because I have a whole bunch of brushes and it's way too many to count. So for me to have to go through and try and find cloud brushes, it would take too long. So forget it. I'll make my own. So I went to filter, render, added some clouds, warped it, and boom, clouds. Okay. And I used my soft round eraser brush just to get rid of some of it to make it more look cloudish. And then I warped it and I perspectivated it to a ground level look. And the opacity on my layer is 43%. And that's what I have. Hopefully you have something similar. Yes? No? Maybe? Yeah. Okay. So that's that for now. But we're going to continue this. We're going to add a little bit more color to it because I feel like it looks a bit too unfinished for my liking. But if you like what you see, you can stop right there. That's fine. I don't judge. I don't judge you. So I'm just letting you know that I want to continue this. So I'm going to continue this, but if you don't want to, that's fine. Now, once you have your entire thing to where we are right now, merge everything together. And by merge, I mean go to layer and flatten image. Okay, you flattened your image. Awesome! So now we're going to add the unsharpened mask. We really want to sharpen this thing to its core. So filter, sharpen, hello, unsharpened mask. And I chose 85% and the radius is 1 pixels and the level is threshold 0. Okay, click OK, you should see that. Awesome sauce. Now, to really make this really awesome, I'm going to add a selective color adjustment layer above this whole entire image. And we're just going to go ahead and colorize the shit out of this thing. Alright, now I know what you're thinking. We've already colorized it. How much more color can you add to it? Oh, you don't even know the half of it. Okay, so we're going to go up here. And now when you have your selective color selected, the adjustment layer, make sure it's not on top of the layer. It's an adjustment layer. Just in case you make a mistake, you know, and go back and fix it. Not that you would need to, but in that event. So for your reds, I chose negative 35, magentas 100%, yellow 15, black 0, and make sure relative is selected, by the way, because if you go to absolute, it's going to look really weird, so just don't, yeah. Yeah, see, look at that, absolute, nah. Alright, and then for my whites, I chose these lovely colors. Now, you may need to play around with this because I found that depending on what colors you've chosen for everything, it gives you a whole different outcome. So if you want to play around with it, if it's too purple for you or too contrasty or whatever, play around with your selective colors. That's what I did because I felt like it needed to be, you know, really worked up. So I like what I see here, but if you don't, go ahead and fix to whatever you like. Or if you don't even want to have it like this, you can always delete the selected color layer and leave it as is. I have no shame with that. Okay, and now for our neutrals, I've chosen these colors here. And then finally, for our blacks, I chose this. Alright, and again, you can play around with these settings if you need to, but if you like what you see, that's awesome. I like it. Alright, and that's how you do it. That's the basicness of it. It's as easy as that. I hope it wasn't too difficult for you guys. I really hope that it was easy for you. If it was in any way, shape, or form confusing in any way, leave a comment below. Inbox me with any questions. I'm here to help you guys. I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. And I will try and help you to the best of my knowledge. I'm not 100% professional just yet, but I'm getting there. So I'll do what I can to help you out. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!